Sunny Hostin is in the news again, but this time it is not because of her triggering comments on The View, but it is because of her husband, Dr. Emmanuel Manny Hostin, who has been making the headlines, and not in a good way. Emmanuel studied at the prestigious Johns Hopkins School of Medicine, Baltimore, where he also completed his residency in orthopedic surgery. He later completed a fellowship in sports medicine at Pennsylvania Hospital. He's now affiliated with the Mount Sinai Hospitals in New York. Although previously tagged a private person, Emmanuel is now not only one of the most searched doctors, he is also named in an ongoing lawsuit. Sunny Hostin and her husband have been married for more than 25 years. Sunny Hostin is a former prosecutor, a senior legal correspondent for ABC News, and a co-host for The View. The husband of The View co-host, Sunny Hostin, faces allegations of insurance fraud and accepting kickbacks after he was named in a federal lawsuit that was filed in December, according to multiple media
The
reports.
View co-host Sunny Hostin's husband, Emmanuel Hostin, has been accused of federal insurance fraud. According to a new lawsuit obtained by Page Six, the orthopedic surgeon was one of 200 defendants named in one of the biggest racketeer influence and corrupt organization cases ever filed in New York. Emmanuel was accused of federal insurance fraud and, quote, getting kickbacks by performing surgery and billing a company that insured taxi companies and Uber and Lyft drivers. According to the documents, he knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services, including arthroscopic surgeries. The insurance firm, American Transit, was then billed in exchange for kickbacks and other compensation, which were disguised as dividends or other cash distributions. Emmanuel denied the allegations via a statement through his lawyer, telling Daily Mail that his client, quote, denies each and every allegation and that the lawsuit is a blanket, scattershot, meritless lawsuit by a near-bankrupt insurance carrier.
Emmanuel Manny Hostin, an orthopedic surgeon, is among 180 defendants who were named in the suit, which was filed December 17. The suit alleges that Hostin and others received kickbacks for performing surgery and fraudulently billed the insurance company American Transit, the Daily Mail reported. American Transit is seeking at least $450 million in damages. Emmanuel Hostin's attorney, Daniel Thwaites, told the Daily Mail that his client denies the allegations, which were part of a meritless lawsuit filed by a near-bankrupt insurance company. It is meant to intimidate and harass doctors from collecting for care given to American Transit insureds and their passengers, Thwaites told the outlet. Thwaites said in a statement that Hostin has an impeccable record as an orthopedic surgeon. The real story here is about an insurance carrier abusing the legal system to limit and restrict healthcare benefits to its insureds and their passengers and write off its proper obligations, Thwaites said. We have put American Transit on notice and will file a $5 million counter lawsuit for their defamatory claims, Hostin said in a statement obtained by People. Sunny and Emmanuel's attorney, Mark Garagos, spoke with People on Tuesday, January 14, claiming the suit has no grounds. In a separate statement to People, The View co-host 56 echoed Garagos, claiming, American Transit is trying to avoid paying for medical and surgical procedures for people it insured who were in pain. The lawsuit Sunny is referring to was filed in February 2024 by Uber, alleging that American Transit showed a pattern and practice of failing to adhere to reasonable claims handling practices and failing to reasonably resolve claims and lawsuits on its insured's behalf. Both Sunny and Garagos allege that the company, which is suing over 180 defendants, is on the verge of bankruptcy and aiming to poison the well of public opinion because it does not have a valid case through its lawsuit against her husband. They used my celebrity status to start a disgusting media smear campaign against my husband, Sunny alleged in her statement. Our family will not be intimidated and harassed. We remain unbowed. We have put American Transit on notice and will file a $5 million counter lawsuit for their defamatory claims, an amount that is likely to increase as the reputational damage that American Transit has intentionally caused is difficult to quantify at this time. In her statement, Sunny asked that American Transit withdraw these false allegations, pay my husband what he is owed, and issue a public apology.
So, Astra, last week we learned that Sunny's husband, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, was named in a lawsuit filed by American Transit Insurance Company. He's one of 200 people named in this lawsuit, and they are accusing him of filing fraudulent insurance claims and also getting kickbacks from them. And it's a very serious crime. In fact, it's one of the largest, if not the largest, Rico case in New York's history. And they're seeking $450 million. And Sunny and her husband, they are fighting back. They've hired legal eagle Mark Garagos to help them fight this case. And they're claiming that this is completely baseless. They're naming lawsuits that American Transit has been involved in. And they're essentially saying that it's a money grab. And they're also going to countersue for millions of dollars, 5 million plus, if they don't withdraw the suit and if they don't issue a public apology. They're also claiming that the company and their counsel, they're using Sunny's celebrity on The View to harass the family and launch a public smear campaign. And Sunny actually doubled down after we saw a letter rather that Mark Garagos sent to American Transit and their lawyers. Sunny, she issued her own statement doubling down, saying, "Leave my family alone."
Insurance companies like American Transit make an already broken healthcare system nearly impossible for Americans to navigate and get good healthcare by engaging in despicable tactics like harassing doctors, she concluded. Let me be clear where I come from. American Transit will receive a PhD from FAFO University. FAFO is an abbreviation for F around and find out. Per the 698-page complaint from American Transit filed in December, the company claimed that Emmanuel knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services, including arthroscopic surgeries to covered persons through Hostin Orthopedics, at one or more of the Surgicorp ASCs. It further alleges that Emmanuel committed fraud when he billed to American Transit through each of those entities in exchange for kickbacks and/or other compensation, which were disguised as dividends or other cash distributions. In the suit, American Transit cites New York State's no-fault, or personal injury protection law, which is designed to pay promptly, regardless of who is at fault or whether there was any negligence for economic losses, meaning medical health expenses, lost earnings, and certain other reasonable and necessary expenses related to injuries sustained. Up to $50,000 per person, basic no-fault coverage, to the driver and all passengers injured in your car, as well as any pedestrians injured by your car, because of its use or operation in New York State. They claim Emmanuel took advantage of this law, which is causing insurance fraud to become a rampant issue and endemic to New York State. Sunny used to brag she had it so good. The perfect family, a loving husband, and a luxurious lifestyle that her job on The View and his practice afforded. But this scandal has knocked Sunny off her stride, an insider said. But a friend said, it's not good for their marriage. She's furious and demanding answers from her husband. No one would be surprised if she kicks him to the curb if the case doesn't turn out the way she wants. According to the insider, lawyer-turned-TV star Sunny, 56, is terrified of what the suit may do to her carefully crafted image and career. She may have some explaining to do to the ladies on The View, and they might be catty enough to bring it up on the show, the insider added. Sunny is stressed out on both the home and work front at a time when she was doing so well. This is a dark cloud hanging over her. Yet Sunny, who shared kids Gabriel, 22, and Paloma, 18, with Manny, has not mentioned the lawsuit at all on The View, even while recently crowing about her helpful husband.
Anna went in a different direction. But I love the fact that, Manny is younger and he's
How much younger is he?
Just a little bit.
He's like 1 year, isn't he?
Like a month or a year or 10 years?
5 years.
It's more than a year.
Oh.
Anyway, it's not about me. I think.
Oh, no?
I think that it's very helpful that he's handy, and when we travel, I'm not picking up any bags. He's the one that's hefting them overhead. He throws the garbage out.
Right.
He does the heavy stuff.
The insider said that shows how insecure and worried Sunny really is, adding, all she's doing is burying her head in the sand. Now, for those who might not understand the RICO Act, let's break it down. The RICO Act is the Racketeer-Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, was designed to dismantle organized crimes like mobsters, gangsters, and all the shady organizations in between. However, in this situation, it is not the gangsters who are on the hot seat, but doctors, surgeons, and medical practices. And suddenly we are thrown from the goodness of doctors to the fraud they might be involved in. This lawsuit alleges that Dr. Hostin and others engaged in a scheme to game the healthcare system. Kickbacks were allegedly handed out for performing unnecessary surgeries and billing insurance companies for services that may not have been provided. Patients going under the knife, insurance companies footing the bills, and behind the scenes money exchanging hands.
I've been waiting my whole life for this one. Orthopedic surgeon and husband for the View host, Sunny Hostin, has been named in a federal lawsuit alleging insurance fraud. She got on television. She got in. She run. These women tell me why she got her husband is named in a lawsuit in insurance fraud, and I'm gonna show you exhibit. Let me say exhibit B. Can you show this to the jury? Roll it, Nick.
You know, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband, you know, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance.
And they're talking about threatening him with insurance fraud. I would say you could get about 20 years in prison, so that's a death sentence for him.
The lawsuit accused Dr. Hostin of receiving financial incentives or kickbacks for recommending or performing surgeries, specifically arthroscopic surgeries, which involved using a camera and instruments to look into the joints. In many cases, arthroscopy is a legitimate, minimally invasive procedure, but the lawsuit claims that some of these surgeries weren't medically necessary, which has raised the question, were these patients' knees and shoulders really that bad? Or was someone just chasing a payday? If true, the allegations suggest that the systems were so corrupt that it is unimaginable. Imagine a patient trusting their surgeon only to find out that they were a pawn in a game of financial gain. On the other side of the courtroom is the American Transit Insurance Company, ATIC, the plaintiff in this case. ATIC, which specializes in insuring taxi drivers and transportation workers, claims they've been defrauded out of millions. They said they were billed for surgeries that didn't need to happen or didn't happen. However, insurance companies aren't exactly known for their saintly behavior. Critics have long accused them of denying claims, underpaying doctors, and using every trick in the book to avoid paying out. So, is this one of those situations, or is ATIC truthfully trying to expose a massive healthcare scam?
The View co-host Sunny Hostin's husband, Emmanuel Hostin, has been accused of federal insurance fraud. According to a new lawsuit obtained by Page 6, the orthopedic surgeon was one of 200 defendants named in one of the biggest racketeer influenced and corrupt organization cases ever filed in New York. Emmanuel was accused of federal insurance fraud and, quote, getting kickbacks by performing surgery and billing a company that insured taxi companies and Uber and Lyft drivers. According to the documents, he knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services, including arthroscopic surgeries. The insurance firm, American Transit, was then billed in exchange for kickbacks and other compensation, which were disguised as dividends or other cash distributions. Emmanuel denied the allegations via a statement through his lawyer, telling Daily Mail that his client, quote, denies each and every allegation and that the lawsuit is a blanket, scattershot, meritless lawsuit by a near-bankrupt insurance carrier.
However, everything was denied by the defense, and the defensive strategy seems to be to paint ATIC as the villain. After all, what better way to deflect attention than to highlight the flaws of the accuser? While Dr. Hostin battles legal fire, Sunny Hostin has remained conspicuously quiet. As the co-host on The View, Sunny is known for tackling tough issues and never shying away from controversy. Yet on this particular issue, she has remained quiet, and that silence has raised questions. Is she standing by her husband? Is she distancing herself? Or is she simply waiting for her lawyers to tell her what to say? Her absence from the conversation hasn't stopped fans and goes alike from speculating. Some believe she's trying to protect her reputation, while others think she's keeping mum to avoid becoming a target herself. Either way, her silence is deafening. This case is about Dr. Hostin as part of the 180 defendants in this lawsuit. The lawsuit paints a picture of a network so vast that it makes you wonder how no one noticed earlier. If true, this conspiracy could be one of the largest medical fraud cases in recent history. The allegations suggest that these parties work together to exploit loopholes in the healthcare system, making millions while patients and insurance companies bore the brunt. At its core, this case isn't just about one doctor or a lawsuit. It's about the integrity of the healthcare system. When profit takes precedence of patients' care, trust in the system erodes. Patients go to doctors expecting help, not to be used as a pawn in a scheme to pad someone's bank account. But it's also a cautionary tale for insurance companies. If Attic is using this lawsuit as a smokescreen for their own financial troubles, they're only adding fuel to the fire. As of now, the case is still unfolding. Dr. Hostin has not been found guilty, and the allegations remain just allegations. Whether guilty or not, this case has already shown a spotlight on some uncomfortable truths about the healthcare and insurance industries. For now, all we can do is wait, watch, and try our best to separate fact from fiction.